Hello students, in this video we will discuss about respiratory volumes, related to the chapter number 17, breathing and exchange of gases. In that the concept is respiratory volumes and capacities. Respiratory volumes and capacities, that is right. So these are very important. We should understand that the respiratory volumes. So as we know, the mechanism of respiration, how air enters and exit from outside, so all we discussed in the mechanism process in previous video, that is inspiration and expiration. So and the steps of respiration also we should remember. So actually the breathing or the ventilation, what we call the pulmonary ventilation, involved the gaseous exchange between the alveoli and blood, so that gas is transported, means actually the air is enters, no, so oxygen transport and CO2 transport, right. The gaseous exchange between the blood and tissue, it's actually a cellular or tissue respiration, right. So we may take it as external respiration and internal respiration, right. So the mechanism also involved these very important what we call the concept, that is respiratory volumes. So first we'll take the tidal volume. Right. So tidal volume is mentioned as TV. So that is tidal volume. What is the meaning? Tidal volume means the volume of air that is atmospheric air, inspired or expired during normal respiration or breathing. During normal breathing or respiration. During normal breathing process, so that means inspiration and expiration. So during this time, so how much quantity of air is inspired or expired, right? The volume of air inspired means inhaled, and how much air is exit from the lungs through nose, so that is exhaled. So this is what the volume, which is the TV, that is TV tidal volume is about 500, right, ml. So this air is measured in terms of milliliter, that is ml, right. So this is called the tidal volume. And next one is this first one, tidal volume, and next one the inspiratory reserve volume. Second, inspiratory reserve volume, so that is mentioned as IRV, inspiratory reserved volume, right. So this is the inspiratory reserve volume the meaning additional volume of air. This is the actually additional, yes, it is the additional volume of air, additional volume of air, that can inspire by, that can inspire by forceful inspiration, inspire by forceful inspiration. When we do the forceful inspiration, the extra additional air is entered into this volume. This is actually normal when we are breathing normally. So we'll take at once 500 ml, almost half liter we can say. So this is the half liter of air is enters into, yes, 500 ml milliliter. So not, yes, half liter or 500 ml we can say, which enters the, yes, inside the lungs, and even also during expiration, which is exhaled or released from the lungs. So this is in normal condition. So very important, it is in tidal volume is related to normal. Inspiratory reserve volume is additional, so that is additional volume of air that can inspire by forceful inspiration. So when we take deep breathe, so during yoga and pranayama what we are doing, so we are taking much air inside, maximum air inside, that is what we call forceful inspiration. So this is about actually the 2500 to 2500. So I'll mention here 2500 to 3000, right? So ml. So you can mention now IRV is equal to 2500 ml to 3000 ml, right? So this is what the inspiratory reserve volume. And next one is expiratory, yes, so that is expiratory reserve volume, expiratory reserve volume. So you can mention it as ERV. What is the meaning of ERV? It's additional, it is the additional volume of air, yes, additional volume of air that can expire by forceful expiration. So you can mention it as additional volume of air, additional volume of air expired, so that is that can expire by, that can expired by forceful expiration. So this is what ERV is equal to. ERV is equal to 1000. So this is about 1000 ml to 1100 ml or 1100 ml, 1100 ml, right? So this is what ERV. ERV. IRV is 2500 to we can inhale much air with forceful inspiration, and we can expel the air about 1000 ml to 1100 ml, right? So next, the residual volume. So actually we consider it as supplementary, right? Expiratory reserve volume is referred as supplemental air, right? So we can take now the next volume, that is fourth one, residual volume. Residual volume, that is RV. Residual volume, the volume of air remaining in the lungs even after forcible expiration. So actually here, when we expel all the air, the remaining little we cannot make empty. We can't make the empty space in the lungs even after forceful expiration or exhalation. So the remaining air, what we call the volume of air, the meaning of this residual volume, that is RV, is volume of air, volume of air remaining in the lungs, remaining in the lungs, remaining in the lungs even after even after forcible exhalation or expiration, exhalation or expiration, right? This is what we call the residual volume, that is RV, right? How much it may be, how much it remains here, that is residual volume is about RV is equal to, so that is 1100, it means 1100 ml to 1200 ml remains in the lungs. That is what we call residual volume, right? Residual volume, right? So that is referred as RV. RV is equal to, here I mentioned, yes, I have mentioned here, you can observe. Okay, so next, the fifth volume, inspiratory capacity. So that is capacity, you can say inspiratory capacity. Inspiratory capacity. So these are the volumes what I have mentioned here, you can observe. First one is the tidal volume, second one respiratory reserve volume, expiratory reserve volume, and residual volume. These are the volumes related to this respiration process, that is in the lungs, right? So related to lungs. Next, the capacities, we can say inspiratory capacity. So inspiratory capacity is mentioned as IC, right? So the meaning is respiratory capacity meaning, you can note the meaning of respiratory capacity: volume of air inspired after normal expiration. Volume of air inspired after a normal expiration. Inspired after normal expiration, right? That is inspiratory capacity. So that is usually the IC is equal to TV, that is tidal volume, plus IRV, Yes, IRV. So how much TV is there? So it is already mentioned here. You can observe the TV is 500. Okay. So next you can mention here 500 plus IRV how much? So that is IRV is minimum 2500, maximum 3000 ml it is. So this you can add either minimum or maximum by that. So it will be either if you add this one 2500 or yes 3000 ml, so anyone you can take. So by that, so this is about 3000 to 3500 ml it will become, right? So that is inspiratory capacity. Inspiratory capacity means volume of air inspired after normal expiration. Yes, volume of air inspired after normal expiration. When you leave the air outside, so the capacity, the volume of air is remains, no, so that is about 3000 to 3500 ml it will be, right? So this is what the inspiratory capacity. Inspiratory capacity. Next, yes, we will see expiratory capacity, functional residual capacity, vital capacity, and total lung capacity in the next video. You can observe here once again. So this is what the respiratory capacity, respiratory volume, and yes, capacities. Thank you, students.